Well, good afternoon, everybody. I am Dave, KE6GAE, the Hillbilly Ham. This is where ham radio comes to life. Today, we're going to do a video on virtual ports, World Radio League, Win4Yeasu, how I got them all working together. Officially, and guys remember, World Radio League's cat control is still in beta. It's not a release version yet, but it is working. And I have to thank all the guys over there at World Radio League, James and his crew. A big shout out to Andy, N0APX. He's been my main contact. But I will say that all the guys over at World Radio League have been real responsive to anybody that makes a suggestion or asks a question in the communities. Us guys that are in the beta testing, they've been real quick to respond to that. Originally, people were asking about in the community about being able to use the World Radio League cat control with Win4Yeasu, and I jumped into the conversation and I let him know that he was talking about using something like Comocom. So I've been working with them. They had to get Flex Radio, ham radio guy, Marvin. He worked with them with his Flex Radio, and they got the UDP ports working across the network for that. So then Andy wanted to see how I was utilizing Win4Yeasu so he could take it back to the developer. Well, the day before, I decided to play with it. All right, guys, here's the software I got to do this with. It's HHD Virtual Serial Port Tool. Yes, I purchased it because I could not get Comocom working with the newest version of Windows 11. So I went with this, and I'll probably stick with it. But, guys, if somebody knows something that is the same as Comocom, free, that works on the newest version of Windows 11, please put it down in the comments. I will download it. I will test with it. I will work with it. As you see through the rest of the video, it's pretty easy to set up, so you can set up and play with World Radio League. But if you want to put it down in the comments, I'll definitely download it and test. I'm probably going to stay with this tool because I've already purchased it to start with. And it's got some other things that I can do with it for IT stuff. But to add a bridge, I'm just going to add COM11 and COM12 right now. I'm going to name it Ham Radio Deluxe. But it's this easy to set up the virtual ports with this tool. But you just, the port numbers, click create. You'll see it pop up there. Then you can go to your device manager. Once you get in device manager, you can go to local ports and tools, and we've got COM 11 and 12 right there. It's that easy, guys, to set up these virtual ports. Get it working with Win4Radio, World Radio League. But like I said, if you know of something that's free, that's like Comocom, that works with the latest version of Windows 11, please put it down in the comments. I will download, test, and if I get it working, I'll make a video and show everybody how I got it working. But like I said, I'm going to stick with this because I've already purchased it. It's got some other tools that I can use. It's got some stuff that I can use for testing, a couple projects that I'm going to work on. But other than that, it's that easy to get virtual ports set up, even though they're not actually supposed to be even done with World Radio League. As you'll see in the rest of the video, you just connect World Radio League cat control and connect up all your stuff, the Win4Yeasu, or if you're using Win4ICOM, it's got the same type of settings. Bring up your WSJTX, bring up your World Radio Logger. If you're using WSJTX, it'll automatically log it for you. If not, you can bring up your World Radio Logger, the actual web app, and get into the logger you want to use. And what I do is I go back over, and you'll see. Well, we'll explain that in the other video, rest of the video. So it's that easy to set up the virtual ports, everyone. So let's get to the rest of getting this set up and working with World Radio League and virtual ports and Win4Yeasu. All right, guys, now that we've got the virtual ports, the bridges set up, then when you bring everything up, as you see, I've got my Win4Yeasu set up. I can just show you real quick. In the tools, third-party SW hardware, which is software and hardware. As you see, I've got other ports set up. We set up the ports for Ham Radio Deluxe, showing you how to set those up. When I get ready to set that back up on this new computer, I'll put that in there, connect those ports. When I get Grid Tracker ready to set up, I'll just connect that port for Grid Tracker. But it's that easy, and as you see, I had it set for WSJTX. I'm using COM 8 in my Win4Yeasu. COM 9, actually, COM7, excuse me. COM7 is connected to Win4Yeasu, which the bridge is 7 and 8. So then I go here and I connect to COM8 for World Radio Cat control. We'll give it a second. It actually will make the connection. It should pop up and tell me when the connection's made. There it is. Radio connected successfully. And as you see in the cat control, it's showing both my VFOs. I've got one VFO that's 14233. But we're going to change that to 107574 for doing some FT8 real quick. And then we will bring up WSJTX. I already have it up and connected. It's already been running. There we go. Sorry about that. Now, well, let's just see if we can make a contact to somebody calling CQ. We'll try that first. If I can't make contact with him, then I'll call CQ and see if I can get somebody to come through. But guys, it's that easy. As you see, it's already connected there. Oh, I did forget to show you something. And let's stop the transmit. Go back over here. As you see, I've got FT8 log. I did not start it listening for WSJTX. On World Radio League, you want to start this listening if you want to automatically log to World Radio League through WSJTX and World Radio Cat Control. You see, I've got it tied to that log. It's got it listening. So now we'll go back over here, bring WSJTX back up, and you know what? Let's just call CQ. Well, here goes the contact. Let's see if we can complete it. There we go, guys. That easy. Now, if you watch up here in WRL cat control, there you'll see it said contact logged, and you'll see it came up in my log over here. So, guys, it's that easy to get virtual ports working. That's with WSJTX. I'll get set up here, and we will show you how to get it working without WSJTX working. Alright guys, this is how I do the single sideband stuff. Now, it's not an automatic logger, but it does connect to the radio and do all that kind of stuff. But this is how I do this. I will, well, first, I actually, and I don't know if you have to do this, I just do it to make sure my radio actually does see the web. But I'll make my connection there. It'll connect here in a minute. There it goes. And I've got to figure out where in the setting why World Radio League is holding that frequency and thinks that's where I want to be every time I start World Radio League. But then I go back over here. Like I said, guys, this is in beta. Virtual ports aren't even supposed to be working yet. But I got them working. And all I do is I started listening for a minute. Like I said, this is just to, I can see it there. And like I said, I don't even know if this needs to be done. But then I just go back and I make sure that those are set properly. Now I will, we got spots. So, and as you watch, it changed there. You saw it change on my radio screen. But I'm not hearing anybody on this frequency, so But as you see, it's changing frequencies, and I'm. Let's see if I can hear the activator. Hear the hunter, but I don't know if I hear the activator. But it's that easy, guys. See, it's changing frequencies. As you can see, that's the screen of my DX10. So we know it's changing frequencies. I'm clicking in World Radio League, putting them up there so they're in the logging software, and it's changing the frequencies. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, I've got to give a shout out to the developer team that World Radio League has put together. They are doing fantastic work. The WRL team, James and his crew, and of course Andy N0APX. He is the project manager of World Radio League for World Radio League. They're doing fantastic work, and I can't say enough at how fast they are to respond to us guys that are in the beta testing, and to just anybody that asks questions in the community. They respond super fast. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you know something that's equivalent to Comic-Con, leave the comments down below. Leave your comments down below what you thought. Good, the bad, the ugly. Just no need to get personal or hateful. But I can take the bad. I'm just getting started. I'm not the greatest at videos. But hopefully I'm helping one person. That's the whole reason I wanted to start this channel. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. KE6GAE, the Hillbilly Ham. Let's all learn this ham radio stuff together.